These are the top 6 most searched for questions new players like you have. I've added timestamps in the description in case you want to skip ahead, but without further ado, let's get into it. How do you craft a wand early on? The first thing you have to do is kill some animals, most likely a wolf, because you're going to need bones. Once you get bones, then you can go into your crafting menu, and right here, you are able to create a wand. How do you unlock the Blacksmith? You'll find the Blacksmith southeast of Braylon Bridge during your first major quest that you're given right here when you first interact with the Flame Altar. I first recommend going to the village nearby and grabbing some shut-eye. It's going to go ahead and replenish your health, which is going to be important because you're about to go into the Shroud for the first time. Once you are in the Shroud, follow this path and take a left. Now continue on here up until you get out of the Shroud. That's Rookmore on your left-hand side. And what you'll notice is as you continue up this winding path, you'll unlock some things because the more you explore, the more things you get the opportunity to unlock. Now that we're here in the scavenger area, we're gonna make our way after we kill the enemies inside here. You see that glowing sarcophagus of metal right there? That is the Blacksmith. You'll unlock a few recipes here, and once you do that, go ahead, open up your map, and transport back to your first Flame Altar. Now that you're back, you're going to go ahead and craft the summoning staff, summon the Blacksmith, and you're going to get access to all of the crafting menu. You'll notice that he has enhanced equipment options too that you'll need runes for later on as you dig into the Shroud. Are enemies dangerous at night? Yes, enemies roam outside the Shroud after dark. And yes, they can actually attack your base. Not necessarily your houses, but they can roam inside, and if you're roaming outside your main shelter, you will have to defend yourself. If you're finding this helpful so far, leave me a like, subscribe, because I've got more Enshrouded videos coming your way. Alright, let's get into resources. Resources, what you need and where to find them. Now, cooking meat for a little too long makes it turn to ash, which gives you tar, a good resource that you're going to need for your structures later on. Next, you're going to want to go into the Shroud. When you go into the Shroud, chopping down trees gives you Shroud wood. That is an important resource for crafting weapons. As you slay enemies, they're going to give you Shroud Spores, torn cloth, and ruins. Sometimes they'll even drop a nice weapon. And harvesting other things gives you Shroud liquid. Getting lost in the Shroud. This happens to me more often than I'd like to admit, because sometimes you can get very disoriented in the Shroud, as you see here. I just drop and I'm like, oh no, I start to panic. Because if you look at my Shroud timer, it's running out. And when it runs out, you die. So try to keep your wits about you, and if you fall like I did, skip the enemies, make your way out of the Shroud so you don't have to go searching for your backpack resources that you drop on death. Speaking of on death, if you die, you are going to go ahead and drop your resources where you died. Now you have the opportunity to go back and get them. Now let's say on your way back you pick up some resources and you die again. Well, the good news is there is no permadeath loot lost. So as you can see here, I'm gonna die, bada boom. When you get back to that spot, both of your drops are gonna be saved. All you gotta do is retrieve them, and now you have all the resources back in your backpack. Alright, if this helped, leave me a like, subscribe, and a comment down below if I didn't cover something that you were looking for. I plan on making more Enshrouded tips, so until the next one guys, we'll see you in the Shroud.